Hey out there in early education world, it's the two pushy dames coming at you.
Yes, and this podcast is appropriate for the holiday that's coming up.
We're talking turkey.
Yeah, we want you to quit cold turkey.
Oh yeah, cold turkey.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about turkeys and how we see so many turkeys that are, those product-based turkeys all over classrooms, all over the United States. Yes.
Not activities, and certainly not art. They're crafts, or we might say craps by accident.
And it's when the teacher cuts everything out and the kid puts stuff together. And one of the things we hear over and over is teachers saying, "Oh, but I let them put the feathers wherever they want to, or I let them put the eyes
where they want to."
Yeah, I know. But guess what? If you can tell me what kids are learning from doing that activity, please do. Just send us a message and say, this is what they're learning.
Send Leanne a message. I have enough messages in my inbox right now.
Tell us how you think they're learning, because honestly, there's a million ways for them to learn those skills in a better way than to be gluing your cutout craps that you put on the table. So be thinking about that. So we want you to focus on the process, not the product.
And quite frankly, holidays shouldn't be running your curriculum. But we know that happens, and we know that parents sometimes have expectations. So at some point during this podcast, we're going to give you some ideas of what you can do instead, so that parents will think that you're doing Thanksgiving when really you're doing open-ended process art for kids that makes them feel less stress and anxiety around the holiday time.
Yeah, and we really want you to think about the whole process versus product. Process is so much more important. Children are learning so much more from it. It's, child initiated because they're doing what they want, not what the teacher wants them to do. But let's not forget about the fact that I just don't get this, Kathy. Why do teachers hype up the holidays so much in their classroom, or the week before the holiday, no matter what holiday? I don't care if it's 4th of July, Christmas, Thanksgiving. Why do teachers get so into the holiday when all it does is rev up the kids and you see behaviors off the wall? Why would you do that?
Yeah, you really want to create a calm place for kids. Kids rely on their early childhood program and their teachers to be a kind and gentle place for them, a place where they're happy and have fun, and not a place that causes stress. I know for sure I wouldn't be giving kids sugary candy on Halloween or Valentine's Day or any of those things, and it just does kind of rev them up, and they see it all around. If you go to CVS right now, it's November, it's all Christmas already,
right?
And Valentine's will be up before the Christmas stuff comes down. The only reason you should go to the store around holiday time is to get that 75% off Hershey Kiss candy for your own candy dish. That's
right.
What I would do.
Yeah, and I just don't get why teachers jump into the whole the whole idea of just jacking up these holidays. Don't do it. Let children do activities that are calming. Let them do activities that are going to be sensory driven. Let them do activities that make them feel good about themselves. Why are we stressing kids out, and why are we giving them our cutout crap to do when we should be having them do things that are soothing and calming to them?
Yep.
Anyway,
you're absolutely right.
But drives me crazy.
I can wear the old bad teacher hat, because I was a teacher who came out of college with a 4-year degree in early ed, and I didn't have a frickin' clue what I was supposed to be doing. I didn't know about positive guidance. I didn't know how to handle kids that might be disruptive. I had no idea about really good curriculum. I could type up a beautiful lesson plan, but it did me no good in the real world of what's best for kids. So I had to relearn a lot of things. So I did a lot of those holiday things when I first started teaching, and it was easier. I had a beautiful big giant box that started in September with apples, and then October was pumpkins, and November was turkeys. And December was like, oh my God, December was awesome. And January in the Northeast was mittens. February is Valentine's Day. March is shamrocks, which is so ridiculous, because really, you should be like drinking green beer and having fun on St. Patty's Day. Kids have no knowledge of what any of that means. But anyway, I digress. But Thanksgiving is not a time that a child is going to say, I'd like to trace my hand and curl the fingers after I cut it out, even though I don't know how to cut that well yet, and glue it on with some eyes and have that look like a turkey.
No.
Because they don't do that.
Yeah.
Older kids do that because they've learned that from us. They've learned that from adults, to draw a little gizzard thing on their thumb, and have it dangle down. You all know what I'm talking about.
But that's what children do when they're older. That's what children do, school-age children. And
Exactly.
they like to follow those directions. They like to have something that looks like the teachers,
Yep. Yep.
those kinds of things. And again, we've said it a million times. If you want to do that kind of stuff, become a Cub Scout or a Girl Scout leader, because that's
with
what
older
you do.
kids. Yeah, with older
that's
kids.
What you should do.
Or volunteer someplace doing Sunday school for older kids where they can do some things like that. It's just when you think back on your child development knowledge and the way children learn, Piaget was very clear that children need real, relevant objects to learn about the world around them. And a paper bag turkey that some teacher stuffed and let the kid glue the cutout feathers on the back, or a handprint turkey, is not a real, relevant turkey. I live in Lynn, and if you're a Northeast person, it's a big city. Lynn, City of Sin, everybody knows about it. I have turkeys in my neighborhood all the time.
Yeah.
So if I have turkeys in my, city neighborhood in Lynn, I know that kids know what real turkeys look like.
Right.
And real turkeys look nothing like your hand.
Yeah. And try and show children not just those cartoony kind of looking turkeys at this time of the year. Show them real turkeys.
Exactly.
Go on a turkey hunt. Go for a walk and see if anyone can find a turkey. I mean, these are the things that are important. They'll have conversations about how they did see turkeys, or the turkeys were in their backyard, or, any of those kinds of
things. Oh, the turkeys wouldn't let their mother out of the car that day in front of the house.
Yeah. Or we had to stop in the middle of the street so they could cross. So
exactly.
Those kinds of things. But think about other things you can do. So let's think about some other things.
So the Indian corn that you can get, and I hate that they call it. Oh, by the way, speaking of Indians,
yeah.
If Native American people indigenous people, thank you, Leanne, for the correct word.
I'll correct you.
They would not be celebrating Thanksgiving.
No.
They were massacres on Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Not at all would this be a holiday that all people are happy about. So take the focus off of that stuff. Put the focus on family coming together, family eating together, cooking.
Being thankful.
Who's in your family?
Yep. Ask children who they're thankful for, what they're thankful for. Let them start to think about those things.
Exactly.
This is the time that we want children to start to recognize empathy and the people that they love and care about. That's more important to them than a paper bag turkey.
And you could do a great language experience chart with the kids. And, Johnny is thankful for his Legos. Mary is thankful for whatever,
And mine would be Leanne is thankful for M&Ms. But, yeah.
Well, that's good. I'm thankful for wine, particularly the red variety.
Yeah.
But anyway, think of that dried corn, or even a real ear of corn. And I know some programs don't use food as art, and I respect that and understand that. So think within your own program philosophy.
But there is decorative art.
But if you,
a corn
decorative
that
corn.
You can use art for.
So if you get some of the decorative corn, number one, you can put it in your sensory table with some tweezers and some magnifying glasses and some things for kids to dissect it and pick it apart. You can also roll it in paint, and it's a great experience to just roll the corn back and forth for the kids. Another great thing for your sensory table, those big heads of dried sunflowers this time of year.
They're all
dried
dying
hydrangeas,
now.
all those things. Put them in your sensory table.
Yeah, I love the whole idea of paint and using different materials to paint with. And I think that a potato masher is a fabulous thing to paint with. It makes such great designs. And if you can get a couple of different ones, they're going to see different types of designs on their paper with the paint. So cool.
And they're going to see like one of their parents or grandparents in the kitchen smashing the potatoes, and whipping them up like that.
And that's their learning connection right there.
Any kind of kitchen utensil would be great this time. Or any cooking activity. Cook with the kids. If I remember my mother always made pies. I don't know if people still make pies, but I'm old and my mother made pies.
Pie is good.
And why not put out flour and put out dough or Play-Doh? Don't even color your Play-Doh. Just have regular dough and let them utilize the dough as a sensory experience.
If anyone has ever been to Bertucci's with kids, I know when my kids were little, they loved playing with the dough that they were given. It was just a ball of dough and they loved it. But again, some of the things you can do are paint with feathers. Give them feathers to paint with. They can talk about feathers and look at the different feathers. And if you could find a turkey feather, even better.
That would be great.
That would be fun.
Yep. You already said go for neighborhood walks for turkeys, but you could also collect acorns and leaves and any kind of fall things. It can be a fall thing. Maybe kids can help to decorate things with real leaves, or you might want to, if some of your programs I know do Thanksgiving dinner or meals for the families to come in, let the kids do the decorations from what they find outside, not from something that you had them cut out of construction paper or that you did yourself.
Yeah, another another activity that's so much fun for kids to do is the stone soup story, and have each child bring in a carrot or a potato, just one vegetable, and then they bring it all together, they make their stone soup, and then they eat it. And that is an awesome experience for them all collaborating, bringing in together, sharing. And I mean, what a great social skill right there they're learning.
Yep. And if you don't know what stone soup is, it's a classic, so go back and look it up, but you can find the book or probably even the recording of it. And it's wonderful. It never gets old. It's never outdated. How about turkey basters too? Put them in your water table. Bring them outside. Let kids work with turkey basters. Water down some paint. And it would be, you have to be brave and cover things up, but let them squirt some of the paint across big mural-sized paper. That would be awesome.
Yeah, there really are so many things you can do, but you have to kind of think outside the box sometimes. And again, loose parts, the napkin rings are fun to put out for them. Make your dramatic play area a grocery store this week, because many of the children will be going to the grocery store. So, transform your areas.
And toddlers, if you work with toddlers, they love bags. Bring shopping bags in for them to go around and shop and put things in. One of the things I did years ago, and it was awesome, but we were doing it for more of an excavation kind of a activity. I took bones from my meal.
I did that too.
And did you?
Yeah. Isn't that funny?
Freaking great minds, I'll tell you. Yeah, I bleached them. I actually bleached them and boiled everything off so they didn't have chunks of slime or meat or grandma's teeth hanging off of them, But I bleached the bones up and brought them in, and I hid them out in the sandbox. The sand, the play yard was all sand, and then sent the kids out with paintbrushes and things to go excavating. And we used the big words, and we talked about being on an archaeological hunt. But you could be hunting for turkey bones, and let's see if we have any leftover turkey bones, or find the wishbone.
Right, because that is a connection kids make. Because on Thanksgiving Day, when someone's taking the meat off the turkey or the chicken, there's bones, and they see them and they get it. So that's what we're trying to do, is make connections for kids
to real relevant things.
A paper plate turkey or a paper bag turkey, there's not much of a connection there. So your goal as a teacher, as an early childhood professional, as a facilitator for children, is to put out experiences that they're going to make connections to in real life. And that's basically it. So again, paper plate turkeys, throw them away.
No
Go
bueno.
Cold turkey. Get
Cold
rid of
turkey.
It.
Yeah, we are talking turkey. We are grateful for you as listeners. We're very thankful that we have the ability to bring you some Pushy Dame stuff. So we'll be thinking of all of you during this holiday time. But we are not going to be tracing our hands. And please don't ask kids to do that.
And don't bring the energy level up higher than you need it to be. Just forget about it. Just do calming, relaxing things in your classroom. No sense in making everyone, all wired and crazy because the holiday's coming. Make it calm, relaxing.
I can't wait for Turkey Day.
And
we didn't even mention football. You could do an awful lot with football around Thanksgiving too. So
lots of connections there.
Hey, have fun with it.
Yes.
Don't be cutting things out. Have an extra glass of wine the night before instead of cutting out a bunch of construction paper feathers.
Yeah, go home, put your feet up, put a nice, mask on your eyes and relax. Don't get stressed out. Okay.
Enjoy.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Bye, everybody.